Cassie Jo Stoddart. The tragic story of Cassie Jo Stoddart is a chilling tale of betrayal and senseless violence. Cassie Jo, a 16-year-old high school junior, lived in Pocatello, Idaho. Known for her kind-hearted nature, good grades, and artistic talents, she was beloved by her family and friends. However, her promising life was brutally cut short on September 22, 2006. This case shocked her community and garnered national attention. Cassie's murder was perpetrated by two of her classmates, Draper and Torey Adamcik. Both 16 years old at the time, the boys were close friends who shared a fascination with horror movies and dreamed of emulating infamous killers. Their obsession with violence and the desire to achieve notoriety led them to concoct a sinister plan. Unfortunately, they chose Cassie as their victim. On the night of the crime, Cassie was house-sitting for her aunt and uncle, Allison and Frank Contreras, who were out of town. She invited her boyfriend, Matt Beckham, to keep her company. Around 6 p.m., Brian and Torey stopped by the house, claiming they wanted to hang out. The four teens chatted and watched part of the movie Kill Bill Volume 2. After about 2 hours, Brian and Torey said they were leaving to watch a movie at a local theater. But this was a lie. They had already planned to return later. Unbeknownst to Cassie, Brian and Torey had unlocked the basement door before leaving. This ensured they could re-enter the house without detection. The two boys drove away, changed into dark clothing, donned masks and gloves, and armed themselves with knives. They returned to the Contreras home and snuck into the basement while Cassie and Matt remained upstairs. Brian and Torey began turning off lights in the house, attempting to frighten their victim. Matt noticed the strange occurrences and became concerned, but Cassie reassured him that it was probably an electrical issue. Meanwhile, Brian and Torey waited in the dark, hoping Matt would leave. Around 10:30 p.m., Matt's mother arrived to pick him up, leaving Cassie alone in the house. Brian and Torey seized the opportunity to attack. This suggests a prolonged and horrific death. After the murder, the boys fled the scene and discarded evidence, including their masks, gloves, and knives, in a nearby canyon. However, their actions before and after the crime would lead to their swift capture. In the weeks leading up to the murder, Brian and Torey had documented their plans in a series of chilling video recordings. These tapes revealed their premeditation and twisted motives. In one video, Brian stated, "We're gonna go down in history. We're gonna be just like Scream, except real life." Torey expressed similar sentiments, gleefully discussing their desire to kill someone. After the murder, the boys recorded another video in which they discussed the crime, showing no remorse. Brian said, "We just killed Cassie," while Torey laughed and celebrated their actions. These recordings would later become key evidence in their trial. Cassie's body was discovered 2 days later by her aunt and uncle, who were horrified to find the grisly scene. The police quickly launched an investigation, and suspicion fell on Brian and Torey. This was after inconsistencies in their alibis and behavior. When confronted, Brian eventually confessed to the murder and led investigators to the discarded evidence. Both boys were arrested and charged with first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder. During their trials, Brian attempted to shift the blame onto Torey, claiming he had been coerced into participating. Torey, in turn, denied any involvement in the killing, portraying Brian as the mastermind.